There are high points and low points, I can tell you that. Cooking was my low point 2 nights ago. All right, let's just get into it. Top 3 things this morning in the notebook. Obviously, number one, coming out of what we thought would happen last week, interest rates obviously went up. We'll go through that. Qs, which interestingly, but not surprisingly, are weakening. And, of course, we'll break down the setup that we're long. We don't particularly care what other people are long or what they have to do with a very narrow mindedness or a really lack of process. Imagine that's all you could do is just be long Qs. I mean, you could see why they get so upset. First things first is interest rates. The signal nails it again. Whether you're looking at the short end of the curve or the long end of the curve, interest rates are upward sloping with a bullish bias. So they say bullish trend there, and they have for quite some time. The 2-year yield is priced in this acceleration in inflation almost perfectly. The 10-year yield will now get much more interesting because, one, it's approaching the top end of its range. It was up 11 basis points on the week last week. 2, it's making a lower high versus the cycle high for nominal rates at 425, and the top end of the range is inside of that. And 3, gold just made a higher low on that, which is all one and the same thing. So again, as a reminder, on August the 4th, if you didn't get that signal because you're not subscribing to real-time alerts, but you really want to know about gold every single morning, well, you can get the answer, right? You just got to pay for it. So on August the 4th, just north of 180 on GLD, I signaled to sell some, right? Okay, so now we can buy some back. That's why we sell some. The signal tells us exactly what we thought it would be. It doesn't change the fact that we've been long gold since November of 2022. No. Can you imagine how many of you would be so confused if I started changing the full investing cycle process, taking asset allocations in and out based on immediate term trade signals? Oh, that's crazy train, right? Trade resistance for gold is 1966, which we reviewed last week. So again, getting above that, then we can get back to all-time highs or towards them. I'm old enough to remember those, which were long ahead of those. Those were, of course, this year in April and May. So again, that's where we are. Big higher low on the risk range for gold as well, which is the upside down of the rates move. One of the rates is 1909, which is not as good a price as you could have bought. It's one we heard some whining and complaining or some opportunity in. I mean, a lot of people, an increasing amount of people saying, hey, I'm really starting to get this. I bought the crap out of gold down there. I sold some under signal. I feel like I'm getting better at this, and the only thing I'll say back about those feelings is just take out the feelings. Point number 2 is the Qs. Now, there are feelings. There are a lot of feelings. The feeling, I guess, was exuberant and bubbly. Go back to, again, only 2 weeks ago when the mother of all bubbles was getting priced into lower highs across. And there's my Qs with the Russell's down 21.2% from its cycle peak, of course. That's a disaster. But yeah, from that price, Qs are down almost 5%. That's a lot. My family and my firm, we're not going to give up 5%. That's not what we do. When we have a correction, it's typically 2 to 3% in our hard-earned capital. Down 5, down 15. No way. No, boomer. You don't do that, boomers. No, boom. Who are we talking to? We're talking to the dog and an entire generation that's like Sandy Dryad. Not everybody on the call, of course, but down 15% now again, Qs are from the cycle peak, and that is what it is. We weren't short them, we're not long of them, they're just there, and that's an important thing to note because that is their position, their being the people who have no other choice. So that's the important thing, and as much as the volatility index on that just being right around 20.5 for the risk range on VXN, NASDAQ volatility being 19 to 24, so 24, that correction could easily be heading back towards crash mode again. Crash mode is down 21.2%, which is a Russell from its cycle peak down 15, not down 20. I define a crash 20% or more. Sectors, what a week it was, It's a good week. Yeah, we're long energy and we're long healthcare. I'll be damned if those weren't the 2 best sectors out of the top 11 sector exposures you could have had in the S&P 500 last year, rooster butt. How about that? No. I mean, NASDAQ was down like 2%. The beloved SPY, which we added to the short side of ETF Pro, which you'll notice 2.5% ago, that was down a little bit, but we're up a lot. Like, that was a good week. I mean, gold being down 1.5% gets offset by energy being up almost 3.5% last week. Healthcare up 2.5% last week. And yes, because many of you are good at sizing your longs bigger than your shorts, that works out just nicely as well. So again, that's where we're at. We have sectors that are working. We have sectors that most people don't own. We have sectors in the case of energy that we used to be short when people were long it. So again, it's a much more sophisticated way. It's not just more sophisticated, it's much more successful to be a full cycle investor because, of course, you don't have to be long or short of anything. Again, your goal here, as I said, with Dave Pelt, Dave Pelt, the short game Bible, as I'm trying to coach myself to becoming a better golfer. Scoring isn't just about hitting home runs. Or just having hole-in-ones for that matter. That's ridiculous. It's about having a 7:30 a.m. swing, a 9 a.m. swing, a 10:30 a.m. swing, and no, I'm not talking of what hour of the day. Because it's a different thing. It's repeatable. So if you have 3 wedges in those 3 swings, you have 9 swings with 3 wedges. The rooster knows that. And a good player knows how to play that way. So we're not gonna sit here and just send you on the golf course with your hard-earned capital with a driver and a putter. That's just terrible. And that's what the NBC does. And those are your top treatments. Oh, the inspiration, I tell you. But it's not really actually that inspiring to be playing against a team like that because it's like kiddie pool, It's like terrible. So what we really want to do is benchmark ourselves against ourselves. And that's what we're going to do. That's what Nick Saban does. That's what the greats do. And we're trying to, again, show you that this process is great, which is fully loaded with not chasing other people's perceived notions of greatness into the July lower high. All right, let's do the setup. We got a pretty fair fight. 44.25, low end of the range. That's 0.9% of downside. We're just north of 1% on the ups to 45.18. Again, low on the short-term range, lower high on the short-term range is all, of course, very bearish. The volatility has shifted now. Tier 1 alpha, for those of you who subscribe to this, are going to see that when you look at super short-term volatility, short-day fall, which includes the events for this week and next, it's pretty flat now. So, the real event that people were nervous about, they should have been, was, of course, the CPI accelerating, and it did. But this week we have options expiration for the month of August or for this most recent month, is on Friday. So that we should see some 10x around there. But as long as we continue to see dealers in a negative position, we're going to see a little bit more volatility because they have to sell on down moves, they have to chase on up moves towards lower highs. And again, we're going to find where that lower low is, but you'll notice that lower lows and lower highs is where the risk range is, whether you're looking at the NASDAQ or Qs or the Russell 2000 specifically. What else? Volume on Friday. It was a Friday in the summer, so volume was down. They tried to rally it intraday off the lows, and they did. Got a nice little narrative for that, Rooster. The narrative was, look at the University of Michigan and inflation expectations. Oh my God. Really? Guys, you have to, that's what you have to stretch for now. Of course, the market was straight down for the prior, nearly 7 out of 9 days. That's a lot for the S&P 500 into the news that was the inflation number that matters, which is the headline CPI. And of course, the futures were on their lows before that, and before that intraday bounce off the lows when they were down on CPI being elevated. So pretty surprising. So it's a joke. We know it. There's a self-incentivized joke. That's what makes it a joke, right? If your whole job is to keep something up so that you can get compensated over time, less and less people are getting compensated by that. More and more people are getting angry because they have to pay for the inflation. And the cheese prices up 20% in the last month. The flip line is now 45.20. You'll notice that the flip line, Tier 1 alpha flip line for dealer gamma, being dealer gamma goes positive or negative above or below the line, or rate added neutral. What is that, the line? That's the line. So again, I'll tell you in the mornings if and when I have an opportunity to do so. If not, you can just pay for it and get it yourself. These what they call probable volatility bands are also they're not the same as risk ranges. Obviously, it's purely a calculation I think that they make from a vol perspective. That's what it is. They are downward sloping, which takes out the opportunities for massive short squeezes. And you've seen this too, and everything that people got their brains squeezed out. We didn't. We actually, the only one I really got caught offside on was regional banks. But I thought I risk managed this thing really well. Relative to what I can do. I'm not like these people on Twitter that can nail every move. They weren't long the NASDAQ last year, but they're all 80% of their portfolios at starting in December. I'm just not that good, right? I'm just one of these guys that more like Dave Pelt teaches the short game. And scoring isn't about hitting every shot perfectly like that. When you really think about scoring, it's getting away with your misses and your mistakes and avoiding being out of bounds or having drawdowns, okay? And taking advantage of your good shots when you have them and riding those winners, as I would say, relative to what he said, on just taking advantage of a birdie opportunity, right? We have some excellent selling opportunities in energy, nuclear, gasoline, UGA. We have 27 different ones. So we're going to play our game. And I know some of you struggle with that throughout parts of the year, and you're going to struggle. Oh, you're going to struggle. If you do this for a quarter century like me, you're going to be struggling more days than you can count. Okay? So again, I'm heading for 6,000 trading days that I risk managing. If you think that I'm going to change your process, I think you're right. If you think I'm going to change my process, if you have a moment of weakness or emotional tilt, you're out of your mind. All right? Okay? So we don't want that this morning. I want you to short some XTL for the fan. Okay? That's telecom. There's some specific components of that ripped last week that got that towards the top of its range, Rooster. I don't know if you executed on that, in your PA, but that was a nice little signal on Friday. In between, the kids had a fine. What else we got? Move index 112, right at the trend, actually. HYG. Again, the catalyst from a TLC perspective, which we accurately stay away from, same thing with utilities. The playbook would have said to start buying those from a quad perspective, but from a signal perspective, which trumps the quad. Of course, we stayed away, and we did it for good reason, and an accurate reason indeed. In Asia last night, we did sell before last night's sell-off in Japan. We took all four of our asset allocations to their minimums, or I did. Again, don't be upset about it, don't be excited about it. So many of you get excited about that because now we get to buy them back. Don't you get upset about it because you didn't see them. And it's okay. I mean, it's called FOMO, but it's what I did. Okay, that's the whole point. We're going to create some lower access points to that content, for you to see the asset allocation a little bit more dynamically. But if you want it, you can never pay for it. Cosby is knocking on the door of getting tossed. Just tossed outside. Just like a goose feather in the middle of August. Get the hell out of my house. That is not going to be, you're not going to have goose shit in the house. No. And I realize that is a risk management thing that you have to deal with down here. If you leave the doors open, the goose might just come in, and if a goose comes in your portfolio, i.e. that's, starting to suck wind, the goose, like a goose egg, get out of it. Now, I'm not telling you I'm going to do it on South Korea. I'm telling you I might. And I hope you're comfortable with the difference between those two things. Because the trend for the Cosby, it literally closed like 9 points above it, Rooster. So it's been weakening. It's been moving down my asset allocation list because I don't, again, buy signal strength is weakening. I sell signal strength is weakening. As a younger man, when I was your age, I would always buy things that were down and try to improve my cost basis. Because I was like a rookie and I didn't know what I was doing. And I thought because in business school, that's what they probably tell you to do, or somebody who sucked at this would probably do that. Because I used to suck too. I always suck. That's the thing. Don't suck. Suck less, as Dave Phelps said. Scoring is about getting. It's not just about hole one. It's about getting away with your misses. So there you go. We'll see if the Cosby can survive another day. I did add Singapore on Friday, EWS. Nice little move in Indonesia after adding to that position that I'll sell into, by the way. Indonesia is the one that's on the shortest leash not because of its signal strength, which is interesting. I find this always interesting. When the quad is about to change from quad 1 in the case of Indonesia, if you look at slide 23, you can see all the quads for all the M. And they're going to go back to quad 4 before something like South Korea. So can you really do it? I think you can. I think you can get there. South Korea's quads look awesome, but the signal doesn't, and it looks less awesome. It's still bullish trend, okay? Now, Indonesia's signal looks awesome. Signal strength is very strong, or I would have added to it like I did on weakness before this little top. Now, but they're going to run into their first quad 4 next quarter. So we'll have to see. That's the thing about go anywhere. We don't owe Singapore, South Korea, or, I don't know, Pakistan, anything. That signal's ragingly bullish, and I have no idea why. I don't care why, okay? The likelihood of me making Pakistan a core asset allocation is probably pretty low, but, you're saying there's a chance. India correct a little bit here, so I find some more of that on Friday. That's Macro Pro. Lower high on the European side across the board, so now I'm going to give you 5 shorts that I have on. Yeah, I'm allowed to put on shorts. When I'm not on the macro show, I'm allowed to do that. Okay? Or if I don't do that, I don't get to go on vacation. Rooster, how the hell am I going to pay for this frickin' thing? Right? When you got 4 kids and they're doing all sorts of stuff, you can't just go on vacation. I don't have a boomer parent that just funds me. No, I got to pay for this stuff. So I had to add some of that European rally that you had in the middle of the week. And I did. And it was a good day on Friday as a result. So I had 5 shorts, not 3. I told you I was going to do it. I told you, just like in Slapshot, when he said he's going to go right out there and he's going to, everyone with the exception of his wife, is going to run for the exit. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. shares. So I added Eden, which you know, Denmark, is very weak from a signal strength perspective. It bounced on the Novo, not Novo, still owning it with it at 50%. The Novo Nordisk, the weight loss thing. That was up there, so that was shorted. So was Sweden. So Sweden is a very bad thing. Did you see what the Swedish krona did last week? Holy hell, that was ugly. Now this is what people that macro tourist rookie types, they look at the dollar chart, 50-day moving monkey types. They don't know what's going on in Sweden. They don't know that that the dollar trades against every other currency. You know that? I mean, it's kind of a basic thing for us, like putting on our shoes and chewing gum at the same time. But Sweden, the currency was down 2.5% last week because they've already entered a reported recession. Germany is already in a reported recession, and France is knocking on the door. So those are our top five, including, of course, Finland as well, just for good keeping. So again, those are our five shorts: Germany, France, Finland, Sweden, and Eden. We'll try and push Sweden. I like that. I have Swedish hockey friends. What else? Natural gas got above bullish trend, broke out, stayed higher. It was up 7.5% last week, and no, I am not long it, damn it, because I missed stuff, and I won't chase it. I'll wait for the comeback, or I'll wait for that. If you don't think natural gas is going to correct, you probably second day trading markets in your life. 1.3% is the upside and it's above trend. And actually significantly so. We'll have to see if that holds. Anything can happen, of course. Oil, another big higher low, 79.45, another higher high, right, 4.99. Did I say inflation accelerating gold? Did I say I added to it on Friday 50 basis points? That's it. I took the position down to 2% on GLD. It's now 2.5. It can go to 6. It can go to 10. Lots of room there. Silver broke trend. I hope you're not having a panic attack. It's only Monday morning. That's probably going to get. That's probably good shit. That's probably going to get pumped. And I know some of you may not like that, and some of you may might. Now, I don't care. I'm just going to do it. Trend on silver is 23.16. If I sell all of it, if you get an update in ETF Pro that says it's gone, you should not be surprised, because I'm probably going to send that signal. I can't guarantee 100%. If I start having some fun, in the pool with the kids, you never know. But the trend is 23.16. Okay, so in as much as and I sold it down to my middle thing. It was just sitting there. See, that's how a loser doesn't. Or again, one more time, back to Dave's health. Scoring is about getting away with your misses, avoiding penalties, taking advantage of the good shots, and not focusing on your bad shots, bad swings. Silver was risk managing beautifully. So that is what it is. It's called making bogey instead of making a birdie. And it's better than making a triple bogey, I can tell you that. So again, if I sell it, and I could, there's no rules against buying it back if it gets back above trend. See how that works? Go to the next hole, play the next shot, make the next putt. You don't have to worry about it. Silver doesn't have to be part of your life, like in a way that is just emblematic of your life. I mean, oh geez, we're really going off the rails here. Bond yields, already talked about those. Currencies, one more time. Did I say the dollar has been up for 6 out of the last 8 weeks when every old wall technician told you it broke down? This is why we make fun of them. People like Rooster get all upset on Twitter. Why are you being mean to Ryan Decker? Like, who the fuck is Ryan Decker? Other than the guy who works at every bucket shop on the planet that just hops from shop to shop to constantly burn bullets. I mean, these people, these are not signals. This is what people listen to. That's why I make fun of it. It's funny. It's funny. You ever watch people like at a beach or at a pool? You don't ever laugh? I mean, there's all sorts of behavior out there. Just terrible. Whoever was telling you the dollar broke down 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks, just terrible. Get out of here. Let's take the push.
All right, let's get. Okay, we got a lot of questions here. There's also a freak out on gold here, so I'll just ask the top question and then talk about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Freaky?
Yeah. Gold testing support.
I like that.
All right. Gold testing support level.
We can say it every single time gold has got to go. It's not at the low of the range, to be clear. But every single time people in the queue freak out, which is like, we've defined it out. I think it's like 1 to 3% of subscribers. You are a contra signal. You know that, right? Like, I mean, this question is the contra signal. This is getting me excited.
Here's the top question, though. Gold testing support levels again, so I'm topping up on
No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop the question. Let's get the question. I'm not going to cancel part of the vacation for bullshit. What is that? Testing trend support? That's not testing trend support.
Okay.
That's not testing think trend support. Trend support. Yeah, let's level this guy up. It's probably a guy because these are the typical people that go on tilt. Most, I don't know why, it shouldn't be a gender thing, but some of you guys, you get a hold of yourself. For gold, I mean, gold would have to break. First of all, long-term tail is 1826, and if you're saying there's a chance, intermediate-term trend is 1887. The price of gold isn't even near the low end of it, so that's trade trend tail. Trade being 1966, that's what I said earlier. Sorry, I made a mistake there. Now 1964. So trade, yeah, bearish trade, bullish trend, bullish tail, approaching low end of the range, buy the damn dip. Okay, so now that we have that language right, that's why we have a process for that, right? So that we don't wake up. I don't go to John Dawson when I'm at like I used to, and say, well, it feels like, and he's like, yeah, the chart broke. I'm like, on what? He's like, 50 days. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, if I only knew back then. What's the rest of the question if you ask the inaccurate part of the first part? Because I'm just going to get voted out. It better be. We got to level it up, right?
Yep. The other question is basically, he's adding to GDX, so I guess the question is more, are you also adding... Why
is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Is he a one-product subscriber? It says, I sold GDX and ETF Pro. I took it out because it broke trend. Why are you doing these things? Yeah, Boomer, can you come over here and give Daddy some comfort? Come on, bud. I'm gonna spend a little time with Boomer and Hugger right now where we find something a little better.
Right.
Come on, guys. I mean, I sold the GDX junior miners. That guy sold GDX business knowledge. Come on.
Alright. The third question, keep Boomer near for the third question. Well, that's the second question. Okay. Today, European energy shares, Shell, BP, Full Energies are trading lower. Are you incrementally adding XLE?
I thought it was going to be better today, guys. We buy things when they're on sale towards the mid to low end of the range, preferably real time where it's low end of the range. First down day based on something that happened in Europe is not really what I'm thinking. We just had a great week on energy. The time you should have bought energy was before those things weakened in Europe, right? Should have bought them when we signaled to buy them. And after energy goes up 3.5% a week versus NASDAQ down 2 in the most recent week, you sell some. That's energy, right? Like, what we don't want you to do is really to be a chaser, right? Like, or to be like constantly on panic attack because you're not doing what we're telling you to do when we do it, right? Now, if you want to go on your own way and do it the way that you've always been doing it, you can do that. In fact, I've encouraged many former subscribers to go do that. And it's not going to work, but, in their own minds at least, they're right? I mean, so let's just stay with the process. If energy gets a big correction, we're definitely going to be adding to it more aggressively. If you didn't do so prior to this ramp, then, get better at that. All right, do I need to get closer to Boomer?
Yeah. All right. We have this next question. Other subscribers are replying to this question, but really just needs some coaching here, Coach. All right. So, hi. Process question. If it is Quad 4, why is TLT not your top pick? I lost a lot of money on TLT.
Oh boy. It's okay. I mean, it just sounds like. Listen to the macro show? Let's do that. Why, Coach? I didn't listen to a fucking thing that you said. I don't know what it means when the 2-year, the 10-year, actually the 10-year, the 20-year, the 30-year on the TLT is the 20-year. Coach, I don't pay attention to the risk range signal. I don't listen to the macro show. So I bought it because it said Quad 4, because I still don't listen to you. I still don't know that the signal front runs the quad. I didn't read the note that said, that we're oscillating between Quad 3 and Quad 4. I can't get over myself. I just own TLC. I've been bag holding it the whole time. And I want your support. Man. Come on, guys. You got to laugh a little bit. Maybe this is why people are participating on that. You never, if it was so easy that you would just take a pie chart and fully allocate the thing on a quad you're in, and totally ignore that we've been writing with this dynamic feature of oscillating quad. Again, and ignoring the inflation catalyst that we had on the CPI report, which was running concomitant with our long energy position. I just can't coach somebody who doesn't listen, right? You don't listen. Now, my wife's been away for a couple of days. And there have been some coaching moments with my kids that she may not like the tone of. She may like the results of. But, you know, if I have to tell, if I'm trying to triage this situation, I got 3 kids. I got a teenager over here doing this thing. I got a 7 and 9-year-old over there. I can guarantee you that if I tell my child, 7 and 9-year-old, 7-year-old in particular, the same thing. Not the first time, very, very nice. Second time, hey, remind me. The third time, oh, we don't want to go there. Like, that's not this TLC question. Like, that's not even 3 times. That's every fucking day you've been told, dude. No, come on, let's go.
Yeah. All right. I'll go to a question here. Well,
here, you asked your question, and I'm going to point out 3 things. We've wasted some time, unfortunately. Some of my time and of the power user's time. But you know, I got an answer to it. Or some people, they just get upset.
Yeah, my question was basically throughout your weekend work, anything else you haven't hit yet, anything that stood out to you. Your work to do a lot.
Getting ready for the open.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to do something, because instead of wasting time on that TLC question, which is just really hard, it's just hard for people. Most people are there. That's 99% of headline news is like, are you kidding me? So let's try this. I'm going to try to time myself.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Many things I can tell you in 30 seconds that could actually add to your chances of winning today, or making good putts, or making good swings.
Walmart. I gotta add Walmart.
Okay, that's just, we do waste minutes at a time.
Maybe not. I don't know. Do that later.
Dow, 2.4 times net long. That's the standard deviation. Biggest one to fade out there in macro. That's a big one. S&P 500, negative 0.71 correlation to the dollar now on the medium-term trade duration. That's really interesting, given that we were buying dollars and added it to the asset allocation model on weakness on Friday and closed on the tides of the day. Point number 3, NVIDIA, trade line broken, 441, trend line holding, 389. CHIQ, what a short. Property shorts in China. Do you have those? Tesla, cut prices on China, weeklies, now they're buying the puts. 36 seconds. Shit. I'll get better. All right. Now, how many of you really look at the world that way, or do you need your top pick? You're still like an old wall type, like the TLC question. Top pick. Like, what about your picks? It's not about picks. It's not about hole one.
Okay, getting ready for the open. Gonna start trimming it. Whatever we got up. Here we go. Vietnam, out of here.
With the data or both. That's how we do it. That's how you're going to be better. A lot of people don't work on their short game. They don't realize how many strokes they give up on their short game. I didn't realize how many strokes until I actually read, the thing's called the short game.
Billy.
Pros, try to read this, and they said, you haven't read that yet?
Out of there. Manisso.
I'm like, yeah, I was a weekend warrior. But now as I'm getting older, there's only one way, as I lose distance, that I can make up some shots. So now after all these years, I actually realize I got to learn the short game better. Shame on me, really, right? Shame on me. But I still have a chance to evolve.
If you're ever in a tournament with golf, right? All you have to do is look at your opponent is going to the golf driving range, or not.
You think so? Is that like, because you used to be amongst all the things, including your employment as a roadkill aggregator, you're a caddy, right?
Yeah. That's basically how I could tell the good golfers from the bad golfers. And then if you caddy any like professional, most of the time your golf green, the little testing green, is jam packed, and there's almost nobody at the driving range. Basically, amateurs have it completely backwards.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm absolutely shocked at that. No, not really. It's really an amazing thing to watch. Like this, and all the other behaviors of not only life itself, but most human behaviors that many of you have. The process most resembles that, right? It resembles parenting more than it does some loser on CNBC just talking, just spewing stuff and getting paid by you clicking on it or listening to it. They wouldn't have advertisers if some of you wouldn't do that, and many of you don't. But just think of the rates of change, think of gravity, think about opportunities to evolve, again, improve yourself, improve your process. That's what almost 100% of the time that I go away and get away from, the daily grind as it is. Again, I don't get away from the process, I just get away from being on the front lines of publishing it or talking about it. And that's why I really wanted to have a good Q&A today. I want everybody, and Hedgeye Nation, by the way, look at the anxiety meter. It looks great, So that's
All right. India is on sale. INDA. Good. I like buying that one. It trades well.
It's not about 2 weeks, but it is nice. It is nice to make some pars and shoot some scores, while the crowd is blowing up. And that's very typical of what happens. And this is a 24-year-long thing for me. It's not a 24-day thing or a 2-week thing. So I'm committed to it. I hope you all are too. If it was easy, everybody else would be doing it. But I gotta head out. I'm getting the signal from the 7-year-old knows how to signal to dad. It's time. Now she's
and with that,
she's got.
And we'll take that signal. That is a very important signal. With that, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you everybody for joining us. Steve, thank you as well for joining us. We'll be back at tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. on the Max Show. Good luck out there.
The day that we go, it's a nice day here in the Caribbean, and I'm happy to be on the macro show. As I wrote this morning in the early look, I can go on vacation with my family, but the process doesn't take a vacation. Measuring and mapping of it all includes every day of real-time price, volume, and volatility data, of course. So we have to, whether you see it from me explicitly or you see signals that are born out of it implicitly, the process is going on and on and on. It's just when I'm doing this full spend every day, I'll do the top 3 things: the risk ranges, the early look, and the macro show, and the fall. And once in a while, I'll take a little break from that. Hopefully, some of you don't mind. But again, a little daddy daycare going on here, a little multi-factor processing as a parent here, Rooster. One day, I'll look forward to hearing about how you do that with your little hen. They're high points and low points, I can tell you that. Cooking was my low point 2 nights ago. All right, let's just get into it. Top 3 things this morning in the notebook. Obviously, number 1, coming out of what we thought would happen last week, interest rates obviously went up. We'll go through that. Qs, which interestingly, but not surprisingly, are weakening. And, of course, we'll break down the setup that we're long. We don't particularly care what other people are long or what they have to do with a very narrow mindedness or a really lack of process. Imagine that's all you could do is just be long Qs. I mean, you can see why they get so upset. First things first is interest rates. The signal nails it again. Whether you're looking at the short end of the curve or the long end of the curve, interest rates are upward sloping with a bullish bias. So they say bullish trend there, and they have for quite some time. The 2-year yield is priced in this acceleration in inflation almost perfectly. The 10-year yield will now get much more interesting because, 1, it's approaching the top end of its range. It was up 11 basis points on the week last week. 2, it's making a lower high versus the cycle high for nominal rates at 425, and the top end of the range is inside of that. And 3, gold just made a higher low on that, which is all one and the same thing. So again, as a reminder, on August the 4th, if you didn't get that signal because you're not subscribing to real-time alerts, but you really want to know about gold every single morning, well, you can get the answer. I mean, you just got to pay for it. So on August the 4th, just north of 180 on GLD, I signaled to sell some, right? Okay, so now we can buy some back. That's why we sell some. The signal tells us exactly what we thought it would be. It doesn't change the fact that we've been long gold since November of 2022. No. Can you imagine how many of you would be so confused if I started changing the full investing cycle process, taking asset allocations in and out based on immediate term trade signals? Oh, that's crazy trade, right? Trade resistance for gold is 1966, which we reviewed last week. So again, getting about that, then we can get back to all-time highs and boards So again, that's where we are. A big higher low on the risk range for gold as well, which is the upside down of the rates move. Low to the range of 1909, which is not as good a price as you could have bought it when we heard some whining and complaining or some opportunity again. I mean, I had a lot of people, an increasing amount of people saying, hey, I'm really starting to get this. I bought the crap out of gold down there. I sold some on your signal. I feel like I'm getting better at this, and the only thing I'll say back about those feelings is just take out the feelings. Point number 2 is the Qs. Now, there are feelings. There are a lot of feelings. The feeling, I guess, was exuberant and bubbly. If you go back to, again, only 2 weeks ago when the mother of all bubbles was getting priced into lower highs across in my Qs with the Russell's down 21.2% from the cycle peak, of course, so that's a disaster. But yeah, from that price, Qs are down almost 5%. That's a lie. My family and my firm, we're not going to give up 5%. That's not what we do. When we have a correction, it's typically 2 to 3% in our hard-earned capital, down 5, down 15. No way. No, boomer. You don't do that, boomers. No, boom. Who are we talking to? We're talking to the dog and an entire generation that likes to have these drawdowns. Not everybody on the call, of course, but down 15% now again, Qs are from the cycle peak, and that is what it is. We weren't short them, we're not long of them, they're just there, and that's an important thing to note because that is their position, their being the people who have no other choice. So that's a real important thing, and as much as the volatility index on that just being right around 20.5 for the risk range on VXN, NASDAQ volatility being 19 to 24, so 24. That correction could easily be heading back towards crash mode. Again, crash mode is down 21.2%, which is the Russell from its cycle peak down 15, not down 20. I define a crash 20% or more. Sectors, what a week it was. It's a good week. Yeah, we're long energy and we're long healthcare. I'll be damned if those weren't the 2 best sectors out of the top 11 sector exposures you could have had in the S&P 500 last week there, rooster butt. How about that? No. I mean, NASDAQ was down like 2%. The beloved SPY, which we added to the short side of ETF Pro, which you'll notice, 2.5% ago, that was down a little bit, but we're up a lot. Like, that was a good week. I mean, gold being down 1.5% gets offset by energy being up almost 3.5% last week. Healthcare up 2.5% last week. And yes, because many of you are good at sizing your longs bigger than your shorts, that works out just nicely as well. So again, that's where we're at. We have sectors that are working. We have sectors that most people don't own. We have sectors in the case of energy that we used to be short when people were long it. So, again, it's a much more sophisticated way. It's not just more sophisticated, it's much more successful to be a full cycle investor because, of course, you don't have to be long or short of anything. Again, your goal here, as I cited with Dave Peltz, Dave Peltz, the short game Bible, as I'm trying to coach myself to becoming a better golfer. Scoring isn't just about hitting home runs. Or just having hole-in-ones for that matter. That's ridiculous. It's about having a 7:30 a.m. swing, a 9 a.m. swing, a 10:30 a.m. swing, and not at what hour of the day. Because it's a different thing. It's repeatable. So if you have 3 wedges in those 3 swings, you have 9 swings with 3 wedges. The rooster knows that, and a good player knows how to play that way. So we're not gonna sit here and just send you on the golf course with your hard-earned capital with a driver and a putter. That's just terrible, and that's what CNBC does. And those are your top 3 things. Oh, the inspiration, I tell you. But it's not really actually that inspiring rooster to be playing against a team like that because it's like kiddie pool again. It's like terrible. So what we really want to do is benchmark ourselves against ourselves, and that's what we're going to do. That's what Nick Saban does. That's what the greats do, and we're trying to again show you that this process is great, which is fully loaded with not chasing other people's perceived notions of greatness into the July lower high. All right, let's do the setup. We got a pretty fair fight. 44.25, low into the range. That's 0.9% down. So I get just north of 1% on the ups to 45.18. Again, lower low on the medium-term range, lower high on the medium-term range is all, of course, very bearish. The volatility has shifted now. Tier 1 alpha, for those of you who subscribe to this, are going to see that when you look at super short-term volatility, short-dated vol, which includes the events for this week and next, it's pretty flat now. So, the real event that people were nervous about, and they should have been, was, of course, the CPI accelerating, and it did. But this week we have OPEX, options expiration for the month of August, or for this most recent month, is on Friday. So that we should see some thin action around there. But as long as we continue to see dealers in a negative position, we're going to see a little bit more volatility because they have to sell on down moves, they have to chase on up moves. towards lower highs, and again, we're going to find where that lower low is, but you'll notice that lower lows and lower highs is where the risk range is, whether you're looking at the NASDAQ or Qs or the Russell 2000 specifically. What else? Volume on Friday. It was a Friday in the summer, so volume was down. They tried to rally it intraday off the lows, and they did. Got a nice little narrative for that rooster. The narrative was, look at the University of Michigan's inflation expectations component. Oh my God. I mean, really, guys, you have to, if that's what you have to stretch for now. Of course, the market was straight down for the prior nearly 7 out of 9 days. I mean, that's a lot for the S&P 500 into the news that was the inflation number that matters, which is the headline CPI. And of course, the futures were on their lows before that intraday bounce off the lows when they were down on PPI being elevated. So producer price inflation. It's a joke. We know it. There's a self-incentivized joke. That's what makes it a joke, right? If your whole job is to keep something up so that you can get compensated over time, less and less people are getting compensated by that. More and more people are getting angry because they have to pay for the inflation. And cheese prices up 50% in the last month. The flip line is now the flip line, Tier 1 alpha flip line for dealer gamma, meaning dealer gamma goes positive or negative above or below the line, or rate added neutral. What is that, the line? That's the line. So again, I'll tell you in the morning if and when I have an opportunity to do so. If not, you can just pay for it and get it yourself. These, what they call, probable volatility bands are also, they're not the same as risk ranges, obviously. It's purely a calculation, I think, that they make from a vol perspective. That's what it is. They are upward sloping, which takes out the opportunities for massive short squeezes. And you've seen this, too, and everything that people got their brain squeezed out. We didn't. We actually, the only one I really got caught offside on was regional banks. But I thought I risk managed this thing really well. Relative to what I can do. I'm not like these people on Twitter that can nail every move. They weren't long the NASDAQ last year, but they're all 80% of their I'm just not that good, right? I mean, I'm just one of these guys that more like Dave Phelps teaches the short game. Scoring is like hitting every shot perfectly like that. When you really think about scoring, it's getting away with your misses and your mistakes and avoiding being out of bounds or having drawdowns, okay? And taking advantage of your good shots when you have them and riding those winners, as I would say, relative to what he said, on just taking advantage of a birdie opportunity, right? We have some excellent selling opportunities in energy, nuclear, gasoline, UGA. And we have 27 different ones. We're going to play our game. And I know some of these struggled with that throughout parts of the year, and you're going to struggle. Oh, you're going to struggle. If you do this for a quarter century like me, you're going to be struggling more days than you can count. Okay? So again, I'm heading towards 6,000 trading days that I've risk managed. And if you think that I'm going to change your process, I think you're right. If you think I'm going to change my process, if you have a moment of weakness or emotional tilt, you're out of your mind. All right? Okay? And we don't want that this morning. I want you short some XLT. XTL for the fan. Okay? That's telecom. There's some specific components of that ripped last week that got that towards the top end of its range, Rooster. I don't know if you executed on that, in your PA, but that was a nice little signal on Friday. In between, teaching the kids how to punch. What else we got? Move index 112, right at the trend actually. HYG. Again, the catalyst from a TLT perspective, which we accurately stayed away from, same thing with utilities. The playbook would have said to start buying those from a quad perspective, but from a signal perspective, which trumps the quad. Of course, we stayed away, and we did it for good reason and an accurate reason indeed. In Asia last night, we did sell our before last night's sell-off in Japan. We took all 4 of our asset allocations to their minimums, or I did. Again, don't be upset about it. Don't be excited about it. So many of you get excited about that because now we get to buy them back. Don't you get upset about it because you didn't see them. And it's okay. I mean, it's called FOMO, but it's what I did. Okay, that's the whole point. We're going to create some lower access points to that content, for you to see the asset allocation a little bit more dynamically. But if you want it, you can never pay for it. Kospi is knocking on the door of getting tossed. Just tossed outside. Just like a goose feather in the middle of August. Get the hell out of my house. Yes, that is not going to be, we're not going to have goose shit in the house. No. And I realize that is a risk management thing that you have to deal with down here if you leave the doors open. The goose might just come in, and if a goose comes in your portfolio, i.e. that's, starting to suck wind, the goose, like a goose egg, Get out of it. Now, I'm not telling you that I'm going to do it on South Korea. I'm telling you I might. And I hope you're comfortable with the difference between those two things. Because the trend for the Kospi literally closed like 9 points above it, Rooster. So it's been weakening. It's been moving down my asset allocation list because I don't, again, buy signal strength that's weakening. I sell signal strength that's weakening. As a younger man, when I was your age, I would always buy things that were down and try to improve my cost basis. Because I was a rookie and I didn't know what I was doing. And I thought because in business school, that's what they probably tell you to do, or somebody who sucks at this would probably do that, because I used to suck too. I always suck. You know, that's the thing. Don't suck. Suck less, as Dave Pelt said. Scoring isn't about getting, it's not just about hole one. It's about getting away with your misses. So there you go. We'll see if the Kospi can survive another day. I did add Singapore on Friday, EWS. Nice little move in Indonesia after adding to that position that I'll sell into, by the way. Indonesia is the one that's on the shortest leash not because of its signal strength, which is interesting. I find this always interesting. When the quad is about to change from quad 1 in the case of Indonesia, if you look at slide 23, you can see all the quads for all VM. And they're going to go back to quad 4 before something like South Korea. So can you really do it? I think you can. I think you can get there. South Korea's quads look awesome, but the signal doesn't, and it looks less awesome. It's still bullish trend, okay? Now, Indonesia's signal looked awesome. Signal strength is very strong, or I would have added to it like I did on weakness before this little pop. Now, but they're going to run into their first quad 4 next quarter. So we'll have to see. That's the thing about go anywhere. We don't owe Singapore, South Korea, or, I don't know, Pakistan, anything. That signal's ragingly bullish, and I have no idea why. I don't care why, okay? The likelihood of me making Pakistan a core asset allocation is probably pretty low, but, you're saying there's a chance. India correct a little bit here, so I planned some more of that on Friday. That's Macro Pro. Lower high on the European side across the board, so now I'm going to give you 5 shorts that I have on. Yeah, I'm allowed to put on shorts. When I'm not on the macro show, I'm allowed to do that. Okay? Or if I don't do that, I don't get to go on vacation. Rooster, how the hell am I going to pay for this frickin' thing? Right? When you got 4 kids and they're doing all sorts of stuff, you can't just go on vacation. I don't have a boomer parent that just funds me. No, I got to pay for this stuff. So I had to add some of that European rally that you had in the middle of the week, and I did, and it was a good day on Friday as a result. So I have 5 shorts, not 3. I told you I was going to do it. I told you, just like in Flapshot. When he says he's going to go right out there, and he's going to everyone with the exception of his wife's going to run for the ankles. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Now, I did it, and again, I'm a man of my word, and again, this is what I did. So I added Eden, which Denmark is very weak from a signal strength perspective. It bounced on the Novo, not Novo Dread, still owning Luna at 50 cents. Novo Nordisk, the weight loss thing. That was up there, so that was shorted. So was Sweden. And so Sweden is a very bad thing. Look, did you see what the Swedish krona did last week? Holy hell, that was ugly. Now, this is what people that, macro tourist rookie types, they look at the dollar chart, 50-day moving monkey types. They don't know what's going on in Sweden. They don't know that that the dollar trades against every other currency. You know that? It's kind of a basic thing for us, of putting on our shoes and chewing gum at the same time. But Sweden, the currency was down 2.5% last week because they've already entered a reported recession. Germany's already in a reported recession, and France is knocking on the door. So those are our top 5, including, of course, Finland as well, just for good keeping. So again, those are our 5 shorts: Germany, France, Finland, Sweden, and Eden, which rhymes with Steven. I like that. I have Swedish hockey friends. What else? Natural gas got above bullish trend, broke out, stayed higher. It was up 7.5% last week, and no, I am not long it, damn it, because I missed stuff, and I won't chase it. I'll wait for the comeback, or I'll wait for that. If you don't think natural gas is going to correct, you probably second-day trading markets in your life. 1.3% is the upside, and it's above trend. And actually significantly so. We'll have to see if that holds. Anything can happen, of course. Oil, another big higher low, 79.45. Another higher high, breaking 4.99. Did I say inflation accelerating gold? Did I say I added to it on Friday 50 basis points? That's it. I took the position down to 2% on GLD. It's now 2.5. It could go to 6. It can go to 10. Lots of room there. Silver broke trend. I hope you're not having a panic attack. It's only Monday morning. That's probably going to get, that's probably goose shit. That's probably going to get tossed. And I know some of you may not like that, and some of you might. But I don't care. I'm just going to do it. Trend on silver is 23.16. If I sell all of it, if you get an update in ETF Pro that says it's gone, you should not be surprised, because I'm probably going to send that signal. I can't guarantee 100%. If I start having some fun, in the pool with the kids, you never know. But the trend is 23.16. Okay, so in as much as and I sold it down to my minimum anyway. It was just sitting there. See, that's how a loser doesn't. Or again, one more time, back to Dave's health. Scoring is about getting away with your misses, avoiding penalties, taking advantage of the good shots, and not focusing on your bad shots, bad skills. Silver was risk managing beautiful. So that is what it is. It's called making bogey instead of making a birdie. And it's better than making a triple bogey, I can tell you that. So again, if I sell it, and I think there's no rules against buying it back if it gets back above trend. See how that works? Go to the next hole, play the next shot, make the next putt. You don't have to worry about it. Silver doesn't have to be part of your life, like in a way that is just emblematic of your life. Oh geez, we're really going off the rails here. Bond yields, already talked about those. Currencies, one more time. Did I say the dollar's been up for 6 out of the last 8 weeks when every old wall technician told you it broke down? This is why you make fun of them. People like Rooster get all upset on Twitter. Why do you mean to Ryan Decker? Who the fuck is Ryan Decker? Other than the guy who works at every fucking shop on the planet that just hops from shop to shop to constantly permanent bullets. These people, these are not signals. This is what people listen to. That's why I make fun of it. It's funny. It's funny. You ever watch people at a beach or at a pool? You don't ever laugh? There's all sorts of behavior out there. Just terrible. Whoever was telling you that dollar broke down 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks, just terrible. Get out of here. Let's take the question.
All right, let's get. We got a lot of questions here. There's also a freak out on gold here, so I'll just ask the top question and just talk about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Freaky?
Yeah. Gold testing support.
I like that.
Yeah. I can't say it. All right. Gold testing support level.
No, we can say it every single time gold has got to low. It's not at the low range, to be clear, but every single time people in the queue freak out, which is like. I thought it was going to be better today, guys. I'm sorry. We buy things when they're on sale towards the mid to low end of the range, preferably real tumblers low end of the range. First down day based on something that happened in Europe, that's not really what I'm thinking. We just had a great week on energy. The time you should have bought energy was before those things weakened in Europe, right? Should have bought them when we signaled to buy them. And after energy goes up 3.5% a week versus NASDAQ down 2 in the most recent week, you sell some. That's energy, right? What we don't want you to do, is really to be a chaser, right? Or to be constantly on panic attack because you're not doing what we're telling you to do when we do it, right? Now, if you want to go on your own way and do it the way that you've always been doing it, you can do that. In fact, I've encouraged many former subscribers to go do that. And it's not going to work.
All right, Freeport McMoran is signaling, but I need to figure out, is copper bullish? No. Copper is bearish. I will not be buying Freeport McMoran. I may consider selling.
Process question. If it is quad 4, why is TLT not your top pick? I lost a lot of money long TLT.
It's okay. It sounds like listen to the macro show. Let's do that. Why, Coach? I didn't listen to a fucking thing that you said. I don't know what it means when the 2 year, the 10 year, actually the 10 year, the 20 year, the 30 year on the TLT is the 20 year. Coach, I don't pay attention to the risk range signals. I don't listen to the macro show. So I slide it because it said quad 4, because I still don't listen to you. I still don't know that the signal front runs the quad. I didn't read the note that said, that we're oscillating between quad 3 and quad 4. I can't get over myself. I just own TLT. I've been bag holding it the whole time. And I want your support. Man. Come on, guys. You gotta laugh a little bit. However, if it was so easy that you just take a pie chart and fully allocate the big old quadrant and totally ignore that we've been writing about this dynamic feature of oscillating quad again, and ignoring the inflation catalyst that we had on the CPI report, which is running concomitant with our long energy position, I just can't help somebody who doesn't listen, right? You don't listen. Well, my wife's been away for a couple days. There have been some coaching moments with my kids that she may not like the tone of. She may like the results of. But, you know, if I have to tell, if I'm trying to triage the situation, I got 3 kids. I got a teenager over here doing this thing. I got a 7- and 9-year-old over there. I can guarantee you that if I tell my child, 7- and 9-year-old, 7-year-old in particular, the same thing. Not the first time, very, very nice. Second time, hey, remind me. The third time, oh, we don't want to go there. Like, that's not this TLT question. Like, that's not even 3 times. That's every fucking day you've been told, dude. No, come on, let's go.
Yeah. All right. I'll go to a question here. Well,
Here, you asked your question, and I'm going to point out 3 things. We've wasted some time, unfortunately. Some of my time and of the power users' time. Yeah, I got answers to it. Or some people, they just get upset.
yeah, my question was basically throughout your weekend work, anything else you haven't hit yet, anything that stood out to you? Right, weekend work, we do a lot more modeling of everything. So, wondering what you had there.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to do something, because instead of wasting time on that DLT question, which is just really hard, it's just hard for people. Most people are there. That's 99% of headline news is like, are you kidding me? So let's try this. I'm going to try to find myself. I'm always trying to get better. I'm going to try to tell you as many things as I can tell you in 30 seconds that could actually add to your chances of winning today, or making good putts, or making good swings, or having good scores. Right? We're not going to waste time on bullshit, right? Okay? That's just, we waste minutes at a time. 30 seconds. Go. Right. Dow, 2.4 times net long. That's the standard deviation. The biggest one to fade out there in macro. That's a big one. S&P 500. Negative 0.71 correlation to the dollar now on the immediate term trade duration. That's really interesting given that we're buying dollars and added it to the asset allocation model on weakness on Friday, closed on the highs of the day. Point number 3, NVIDIA, trade line, broken, 441, trend line, holding, 389. CHIQ, what a short. Property shorts in China. Do you have those? Tesla, cut prices on China, weeklies, now they're buying the puts. 36 seconds, shit. I'll get better. All right, now, how many of you really look at the world that way, or do you need your top pick? You're still like an old wall type. Like the TLT question, top pick. Like, what about your picks? It's not about picks. It's not about hole in one. Not even about birdie. It's about process. It's not about picks. It's about process. There are particular points in my notebook that are all process-oriented, that give me things that I should be debating with my team, with the data, or both. That's how we do it. That's how you're going to be better. A lot of people don't work on their short game. They don't realize how many strokes they give up on their short game. I didn't realize how many strokes until I actually read, the thing's called the Short Game Bible, and I asked some pros that, try to read this, and they said, you haven't read that yet? Kind of looking at me like the TLT question. I'm like, yeah, I was a weekend warrior. And now as I'm getting older, there's only one way as I lose distance that I can make up some shots. But after all these years, I actually realized I got to learn the short game better. Shame on me, really, right? Shame on me. But I still have a chance to evolve.
Well, one of the best, if you're ever in a tournament with golf, right? All you have to do is look if your opponent is going to the golf green or going to the driving range, if you're going to beat them or not.
You think so? Is that like, because you used to be amongst all the things, including your employment as a roadkill aggregator, you were a captain.
Yeah. That's basically how I could tell the good golfers from the bad golfers. And then if you had any professional, most of the time your golf green, the little testing green, is jam packed, and there's almost nobody at the driving range. Basically, amateurs have it completely backwards.
I'm absolutely shocked at that. No, not really. It's really an amazing thing to watch. Like in all the other behaviors of not only life itself, but most human behaviors that many of you have, the process most resembles that. Right? It resembles parenting more than it does some loser on CNBC just spewing stuff and getting paid by you clicking on it or listening to it. They wouldn't have advertisers if somebody would do that, and many of you don't. But just think of the rates of change, think of gravity, think about opportunities to evolve, again, improve yourself, improve your process. That's what almost 100% of the time that I go away and get away from, the daily grind as it is. Again, I don't get away from the process, I just get away from being on the front lines of publishing it or talking about it. And that's why I really wanted to have a good Q&A. I want everybody, and Hedge Nation, by the way, look at the anxiety meter. It looks great, So that's a positive message. If we have our community, generally speaking, has gotten a lot better throughout this period. Has had a really good run here in the last 2 weeks. It's not about 2 weeks, but it is nice. It is nice to make some pars and shoot some scores, while the crowd is blowing up. And that's very typical of what happens. And this is a 24-year-long thing for me. It's not a 24-day thing or a 2-week thing. So I'm committed to it. I hope you all are too. If it was easy, everybody else would be doing it. I gotta head on. I'm getting the signal from the 7-year-old knows how to signal to dad at the time. Now she's
And what that was about,
she's got.
and we'll take that signal. That is a very.
And we'll take that signal.
There's nothing more powerful than you.
You.
Your thing happened. Really going for it. Doing business on.
Sell my lift. Yeah, I took like $140. Remember, we flipped it the first time. It made like 400, and then I double dipped after earnings, and I got clobbered. So I got out with the gain. I was happy to take that. And then I'm still in up, and then R, B, and C. Airbnb still high for the long term. Yeah, I think so. And we should just wait. Just like there's a couple names that have come down again, like MPW, that we could justify for the long term. But then like literally just the other day, like PayPal came right back to our price here. So like I'm saying, let's finish up again, even the last of earnings and everything. But I don't think having cash is going to hurt us a little bit more. So there's a couple names, and they're moving where we want them to. But I'm being painfully patient. I think it'll reward us. Nvidia, yeah, they're all day. Again, even Micron, that was another good one. They're up 3.2. I feel like we haven't had like a solidly green day in a minute. Unless it was, I guess this day, no, we even sold that off. What bullshit. So again, it's been a 2-week losing streak. Again, NASDAQ hasn't, or SPY hasn't really gone through that in a minute. Dub 770. Yeah, Rite Aid coming down again. The cover calls still fat spread. I'm hoping that works it out a little bit. GE SPY's moving up here now. SPY is in the green, so is the NASDAQ. Dow Jones and Russells are the only thing down right now. Again, regionals are down 2%. Tesla is climbing, it's still down 2, but it's moving. And then Apple doing nothing, up a quarter. Amazon is up 0.6. AAP collapsing. They went green. They were up 2, down 3 now. So again, that was the Friday runner from last week. Coin is running again. Crypto's big kind of collapse. Also, again, that was the latest headline we just read. Crypto's actually about to go break even. It was down a lot more pre-market. RX. Where's RX? That was an Nvidia thing. That came down to 9. Goodness. Kenview clobbered. XLV's on the high. They're doing good again. SPY is literally, I see SPY red, SPX green. So they're still kind of balancing out here. 3M green. What about 12-month loss is $24 per share? Is that real? It could be. I mean, again, if they don't make money, I wouldn't be surprised. Separation of Kenview and J&J. I want to keep my J. You should have already got your Kenview. So I think you already should have. The SPY's running up here. Microsoft, Apple, Microsoft with a bigger candle, and then SPY's trying to work its way into more of this green. You can see off the bottom. Rite Aid. Again, by lowering the cost basis now, I'm chilling. So I'm going to wait before adding. I'm down to add more, but like I would wait until it moves around, let these contracts move, let the stock move. But, you know, after lowering our cost basis, I'm not too tripping on that. Actually, I want to see how it's going to value the contracts. Oracle up 1.8. PayPal's coming down. You guys are talking about Square. We got out of list. They came down. Uber still climbing. Then Nvidia and chip makers. That's been the awkwardly strong stuff here.
Minnesota. They're up 112 again. They had phase 1, 2. Bank of Russia to hold extraordinary key rate meeting August 15th. I'm still in the wheels up, yeah. I think. Actually, I am, and I'm going to sell that and then buy something else. Okay, so I sold wheels up, $90 profit.
Oh wait, or 60. And then I grabbed 1,000 of Trisha at 157. Price, I mean, again, somebody was asking the price I would buy it at. Remember the other day, and we were saying like 450, but I was like, even then, that worries me. But I mean, low 400s is better than not. And then again, so TSHA, I just grabbed 1,000 of those shares. It's a biotech with data today. It could run. SPY's going crazy. Then RVNC, this thing is now flipped negative. We were killing it on that earlier. You put 1,900 in an ATM and kept your machine. Usually there's like a recording, like you could, like you ever put money in the ATM and it eats it up, but you can't dispute it. Shop is on the high. Apple's kind of moving around crazy. Again, I'd watch some of those biotechs or like healthcare, see if they keep going. They've been leading good. Otherwise, too, financials. If financials can recover and bring things back, even regionals, I think people would really, really like that. And then SPY is just starting to slowly melt again. So even Bitcoin is now in the green. Again, bonds are the only thing getting destroyed here. You're right below the level, 44.71. I mean, you only 5 points higher on Friday. So believe it or not, we haven't really moved up there. I've had it happen, call the bank and they count the machine, the numbers won't match and they'll refund you. Yeah. Good luck. Who's that? Arcat? Ryanair, I saw something that looked like Arcat. Celsius too, man. Oh, my favorite that I haven't played yet. Yeah, Celsius 180 now. That's, again, the earnings from Friday. They're killing it. Tesla did price cuts in China. So if there's anything, like, you know, contributing them to them being a little lower here, it's probably that. Arcat from the richest man of Babylon. Yeah, I just kept. I saw it. I thought I was reading the Arcat. Wow. What was the other one? Okta. Then bonds are catching a bit all of a sudden. I don't know if this is why we're getting that much green, but even Apple's waking up. A couple of things have already woken up here. Again, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, Sound, JD, again, Micron again, Apple, Amazon, all of the big tech names are going up. Like I said, I think regionals and financials, if those come up or not, Dow and Russell are the only thing red. NASDAQ's up 0.3 and then SPY's up 0.15. The yen flipped big. So watch out. I mean, again, it's just getting weird now because half of the question is going to be, is it the yen or is it the bond? So yeah, the yen just flipped a quarter. I think it's more the yen, obviously. Yeah, well, the yen the yen looks like it just looks like it's tweaking out compared to like the 10-year, even if you look at them just on a separate. They kind of look the same on this chart on the futures, but 10-year is still watered down. So just keep that in mind. I mean, they're moving in tandem as they should. UK government Typhoon fighters were launched to intercept 2 Russian long-range maritime patrol bombers. How was the chat today? I hope good. I hope very well rested from the weekend. And then bonds are coming back up. We woke up with a lot though today. I'm sure this week is going to be an exciting one. MP Dubs new low. So with that, I'm just gonna give it some patience here. We have both shares for flipping. I'm not added to the long on it yet, so actually still kind of waiting. And then we were talking covered puts, but it's not even. They're still the same price, believe it or not. I see you followed me. I didn't, man. I'm sorry. That was probably a fake, Josh. So if you'll notice, all of the pictures are probably like posted in the same day. So that's it.
Yeah.
I have them up there. They're the same price. I was double checking. It's the same thing as when I looked at it. Like the worst on Friday was 40 cents, which is decent. I mean, I would like kind of like 70 cents per contract would make the most sense to me, but I think it might have to get in the money. That's why I'm like, the only time we're going to be, it might just make sense to just buy the share. Let's go on stream. You got Angie with you. Oh, it's Scottsdale. Let's go, Arizona. And good morning, Christina. Yeah, you better tell Angie get the long term. Angie, the long term. Where's that? That's all it is. Where's that? Orient Cure Cancer powered by AI. I haven't heard the healthcare AI drugs in a minute. Ever since RxRx. And then I think even BioSig, that's another one. They're all scams though. I told her about the long term. What a good friend. What a good friend, you know? That's it, because Christina could have just been like, yo, you ever hear about these options? You can make like $1 into like $1,000, but then it's like, so that's good. The long term thing, man. Meta IG support this garbage. I report all the spam accounts. They always respond. The user does not violate the field. That's why I just keep saying though, like everybody's like, yo, AI is gonna change the world. And like all these companies, like legitimately they've spent, like Google has spent at least $1 billion making AI, right? Like I still have fake YouTube bots on my videos commenting, hey, reach out. Instagram, they're like, oh, our llama language model learning is a llama, and I'm a lizard named Michael. Anyways, but like you get the idea. But like, dude, they have like 1,000 fake bots for days. Like, where is AI stopping the bots? This is their moment. This is their moment. Pfizer is running.
India, looking good, India.
AI is the board. I mean, well, that's it, but that's a very big, like, it's a difficult problem for social media, but until I see that resolved with artificial intelligence, I don't think it's that intelligent, because that's like, this is like age-old, like, it's a bot, like, you know, like, it's not even that intelligent, like, they've been using bots for a very, very, very long time. The big news was China today. So China, we woke up and there was, it wasn't just one thing. It was 3 different things in China. There was a wealth manager, one of the biggest property developers, and then I believe one more I'm blanking on right now. But there was like 3 different issues about lack of payments, what's going on with the economy and real estate, and like all of that just hit and people were worried. And then we have China data tonight at around like 6 p.m. Pacific time. That'll get us there, but the China stuff woke us all up, and then there's one more headline. Then the bonds in yen, about everything from Chinese yuan all the way down to the yen at 145. Everything just low key. We woke up to just getting the knees taken out. But China, and China last night all the way into this morning was just Again, people reacted. I got my brother the long term, but now he has to sell it. Hopefully for something, or at least, I mean, I hope it's providing the purpose, you know, that the long term should for a life event. Drowning in debt. Well, it might be worth it though. I don't know. Maybe if the long term, if him having to sell it will help him save on some of the interest, it might work out. But hopefully, at least using it for something else. I mean, you know, life throws things at you, but as long as the long term is there for you when you need it, I mean, that is the general idea. I like MO a little bit lower, bro. I've been thinking about that a lot. I don't think we've given it enough attention because everybody's like, oh my gosh, MPW and so on, which I like that too. So pretty much that's kind of what I'm trying to see, which one's going to go lower, MPW or MO. But MO at 42, 41 starts to become extremely attractive to me. Before the Blackpink concert, I had ramen in Palisades Park. I heard two young adults talking about trading. I told them to tune into the stream, baby. Small good decisions. Let's go, Glenn. See, you didn't tell you were like bam, bam, bam. Join the stream. Q. I don't know. Today, like I said, I think today's Ghetto Friday. I don't know if I'm allowed to call it that. End phase is on the high again. A lot of energy was getting murked in the morning. But I was like, dude, I don't know. We're still in that range, and it's just a lot of talk about bullish positioning too, which I think kind of makes it more humorous. And the 10 years coming back down. Remember, you are breaching, you know, what, like 10-year highs on it right now? Like, again, we haven't been there in a while, except for last November, December, whatever it may have been.
Hello.
Futu? Yeah, Futu for a China name. It's actually green today.
Fuck, I stopped out of
Apple started to
Futu.
work up again, just all of your big tech is working for now. What's that other one we got? We got Trisha. It's fun to say. Lucid at 661. Palantir, TWOU, Peloton, MNAH, AI. These are all on the high digger right now. Even Archite, you're getting some movement now. 8.6 yield. I know MO is not like it's bad now. I'm just saying, like, F it. I do this every time. It's good at 43, but then I'm just like, screw it. If it breaks from here and we're able to get 41, I think MO becomes very good at that price. With the QR code on your car, baby. Let's go. I love the QR codes. They're funny. Bro, but I got mad. I put like I hella tagged the QR code somewhere, like with a bunch of QR codes, and then somebody doesn't like me because then they took off my QR code last time I checked it, and then they left all the other stickers there. I'm like, damn. I don't know what I bring out of people sometimes, but I'll take it. But yeah, I love the QR codes, man. Amen. I'll run it. Yeah, we need another round of the QR shirts. Whoa, SPY, U.S. again, and your U.S. to send Ukraine new security assistance valued at $200 million. State Department. So again, we're plopping there, getting some Ukraine headlines too. Amazon is killing it all day today. I think even Microsoft is a subtle killer there in the background. Eli Lilly, 52-week high again. My goodness. Wow. Those were hard. I missed the buy on those. Bro, they sold out quick. That's the thing you gotta realize. Chad is very, very financially educated group. And then there's a lot of y'all. Once it says free, I don't even think the QR shirts lasted more than 10 minutes. That was like, if you were on the watch list that day and watched it, like you were there, you got it. Other than that, it was gone. When was this? This was last year, I think. Yeah. It was a good shirt, bro. Like, even then, like, I don't know how, if you got it, like, it's like, that's a good shirt to, like, wear, like, I don't know, just around the house or it's just like a solid shirt. I was happy with it. I was like, fuck yeah, free shirts. Good quality, I'll take it. Yeah, you can work out in it. It's one, and then two, if it gets too damaged, you cut the sleeve, turn it into a tank top, I said, no, they're not in stock right now. We'll see. Let me see if we can get another set. Apple's tripping. RBNC, that's sad, bro. That one we had like 6-7% in the morning, or 11, and they just gave it all back up again. Trisha, that was the hype play. Sold out of up and lift. And then Ultra, he's gonna come up there a lot though. Like, I think we'll start talking about him a lot. Just depending on where it goes, but I need like $1 or $2 more, but that's still like 5%. I think PayPal new CEO is very bullish for them. So I don't know if you've watched the history with PayPal, but like they've been trying, like the stock went up I think 6% just when they said they were gonna fire him. So I think the market really hates the CEO, because anytime there's been anything of him leaving, it's been good for the stock. So I do think it's bullish. The AG power lines, I think if the stock wasn't down 40%, like it was down 5% early morning, I would have shorted it. But other than that, though, I think I wouldn't play it down here. It might have a little more downside, but the way I'm looking at it is that I do think they will be at risk, just like PG&E in the past. SPD hoodies, baby, stock them up. It's summer, bro. It's summer. Maybe in a little bit. Isn't it crazy though? I think isn't summer about to end? That's it. Don't we have like a 1 month left of summer? And that's it. A couple weeks. Don't some of you guys start going back to school? Like, don't the college kids only have like 2 weeks left? Ford execs say safety and security represent significant opportunity to improve customer experience. Today's my first day of school. Oh man. Oh, good luck, Chaz. It's good though. It's fun, man. You get to get back into things. It gives you something to do. You don't have that much free time to where you're like, what do I do now? You got to get to school. You got to do your work, man. That's it. The college students, yeah. All right. Let me go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Happy first day of school for some of y'all. And get ready. We got to bring it through the rest of summer.
For the NASDAQ 100, up 0.3%. Despite the fact that yields are higher, we do have some strength for technology and discretionary in particular. The Golden Dragon China Index, however, down 1.3%. Perhaps a little bit of sympathy there for the Country Garden situation in terms of liquidity in their bonds. Although one real estate investor telling me that he believes it will remain largely contained to China and Chinese banks. As for movers beneath the S&P 500 sleepy surface, let's take a look at what's going on, because we have NVIDIA popping sharply higher. NVIDIA somehow put in this stealth decline, I should say, over the last several days of about 15%. Morgan Stanley saying an attractive entry point ahead of earnings. PayPal naming a new CEO, specifically Alex Chris of Intuit taking over for Dan Schulman, and he will be starting on September 27th. Shares responding nicely. Tesla down 1.9% on the story that you all were just talking about with Ed and the price cuts in China, and then Schwab down 2.7%, and the company in a statement today said that they're experiencing temporarily lower net flows of client money as the brokerage sees attrition as it tries to integrate the Ameritrade acquisition back, and I think it was made in 2019, which seems like a while ago. Maybe I have that date wrong. As for the macro picture that Alex was talking about, we do of course have the dollar stronger, and that means that we are almost at, it's a kind of amazing, the 200-day moving average for the dollar. We've been tracking it relative to the 50-day moving average, even that dip. This is not surprising. It's trading in a range. It does appear like it will probably take out that 200-day moving average. What does that mean for risk assets, Guy? Well, typically it's not so great. Over the last 2 weeks, we had an almost perfect inverse correlation between the Bloomberg Dollar Index and the Bloomberg Commodity Index. This is the S&P 500 over the last month and over the last 2 weeks, and the Bloomberg Dollar Index. And you can see the Bloomberg Dollar Index gaining 2%, the S&P 500 down 2.7%. So the longer that this Bloomberg Dollar Index continues to strengthen, technically and otherwise, maybe a little bit of a flight to haven, or flight to safety, I should say, we can see that pressure stocks and commodities.
Yeah, that seems logical. The buck has not stopped, it seems, Abigail. Thank you very much.
My buck
Inside
has.
joke. Yeah. Well, let's hope so. It's been, Alex's buck has been out there. Big time.
Shopping,
Big time.
shopping, I'm not shopping.
Shopping.
This is a
Lot of
perfect
shopping.
leeway.
But that's it's a perfect segue. Not segue. Segue is the word you're looking for. Not
Segue.
leeway. Segue.
Into
Segue.
retail earnings
Words
this
are
week.
hard.
Because I will be really
Words are difficult.
I just felt like I wasn't supposed to be there, so I wanted to step out. You know? That's not the OG Riskmaster. And then Mosby, regarding Kenview, if J&J holders will get roughly 107 in Kenview for 100 J&J. If you wanted to play Kenview, would that be the best way? It could be, but I'm kind of under the impression that I don't know if J&J is going to stay on the S&P. So, and then the logic I'm looking for is that once Kenview gets added, they're going to have to forcefully buy all of the Kenview. So, like I was saying on the watch list, it's weird because usually the companies that get added to the like S&P that weren't, they're the ones that are trading at like 52-week highs. Like they're outperformers, they're doing really good. So this case, Kenview is like, this is like the first time I saw one that was kind of near its low of the month. But then again, like I said yesterday, just the fact, maybe the value is just hiding in the IPO, so we'll see. Bulls refuse to give up. I mean, yeah, this just reminds me a lot now, like the beginning of the year. Remember when we started getting those bond divergences before SVB? It was like right around here, and then we were like, wait a minute, where's the market? Just like, because again, a lot of things are happening, but you're not like, dude, equities are very strong. I don't know any other way to put it. Even after 2 weeks of losing and all of that, it's just like, dude, the bonds, the currencies, the stuff from overseas, it's starting to weigh there, but especially the bonds. But you're not getting you're getting a reaction that you got at the beginning of the year. Super League Sports, 16 million market cap, interesting spec. Is it a SPAC? Yeah, the SBF thing. Yeah, that's why they put him in jail on Friday. Or I think they're taking him in there. He's still gonna have internet access in jail somehow, but they are. He got in trouble for witness tampering. Okay, it's crazy. Conagra. I don't know. I think they could be good. I think there's some pressure in foods. I want to see where they're at. I like the brand. I think a little bit more downside you could kind of justify it, but it's not like it's not anything screaming buy it yet. I think they're just right at the middle. I think you get both upside and downside. I don't know the yield. I saw his PO. Dude, wait, are you the one who sent me that? So one of the Chads emailed me. They're like, hey, Josh, if you want to send Sam Bankman anything, and they sent me his address and the number thing and anything. So, like, if you guys, I know how to do it now if you want to. Yeah, thank you, 8012. I have it. I have the PO number that... So we could send him something. I was going to send him a Bible and then, like, you know, like, underline a couple things, but I was like, I'll just let the Lord save him. That's not my job. You guys are like, what? No, I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna leave myself out of this. I'm not trying to, that's it. I want to get on no watch list, sending him no anything. Send him a Margaritaville gift card. Nah, that's fucked, bro. I'm not gonna that's like he has good memories of Margaritaville. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Margaritaville was his home court. I can't do him dirty like that and just even if I don't like the guy, I'm not gonna yo, here, man. Let me just remind you, bro. I can only imagine what he was doing in Margaritaville. You know what I'm saying? Bro, he was the king of the castle. That's it, bro. You spent 50 racks at Margaritaville, bro. I can't. Wow. I don't need to. I would just hate to bring that back for him. Yeah, maybe we get him a cup or something. But even then, I'll just let him be. Rough, I would love to ask that question, but unfortunately you'll get, it runs the risk of getting in trouble on YouTube, so we just can't have that discussion, unfortunately. But I think you should think for yourself, and you don't have to listen to what other people tell you, and that's it. Maybe use the same logic we use to analyze biotech stocks. That could help you a lot at too. But other than that, just unfortunately, you're gonna have to take that up with YouTube. It was investors 50 racks. I know, but I'm just saying he chose to go to Margaritaville. It's not like that's the thing about fraud. It's not like the investors were like, hey man, if you're gonna steal our money, then just make sure you spend it at Margaritaville so we can at least get 2% cash back. No, these guys, they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you from the beginning, I would have been more comfortable if he was spending that money at Noble. At least it would have made sense in the story. Okay, steal a fuck ton of money, go live this lavish lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Go no, he took it to Margaritaville. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I don't even know the menu at Margaritaville. I don't even know what he could have ordered there, but I'm they had chicken tenders. So just $19.99 divided by 50,000. That's a lot of chicken tenders. Is all I'm saying. Could have bought some drip. That's what I'm saying, bro. Dude, this guy walked away with a tab of 6 figures at Margaritaville before walking away with an FTX chain. Stop it. None of this makes sense. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I need to get over this. I haven't fully gotten over it. Because anytime you guys open up the door, I just start thinking, and then I throw Tom Brady into all of this. You know what I'm saying? None of it makes sense. None of it makes any sense. We knew. We had the red flag right in front of us the whole time. That's a lot of coconut shrimps, I know. Apple about to get back to the 180s, and then SPY still. I think this is near the high of Friday. No, this is higher than Friday. Wow. So you're back. This is the previous high, and the next level 4480. I don't know. You're deceptively close to 4500. Should have known for the way he bit it. Cucumber. Netflix on the high now. Apple's still going, and then S&P still fighting, but you're above Friday, so I don't know. Whatever. Remember, Friday we had that little gap down, and then he rallied up, and then it chilled out, but assuming we don't do the same little sell-off thing, if this could keep going, got a little bit of energy. T-Mobile, Uber on the high, CDLX too. This one's just starting to run. I'm still in the rad shares, yeah. Again, Rite Aid, the thing about it now is let's take advantage of the covered calls, and then we'll see, once the premiums die, we'll see where this thing's at. But for now, it's one thing about the shares, but what we did on Friday, it was very high premium, and that high premium, it saved us a lot of money. shares, yeah. The 17% of Apple revenue generated from China, does the Chinese people still afford it? Yeah, I mean, so even then, like, it's kind of weird with what happened with China today and what people are saying. They're saying that even with China, like, even if China's real estate market crashes, they could still have growth. You know, so it's pretty crazy. That's the dilemma here, where it's like, so pretty much what I'm trying to say is that, I don't know if I agree with this, but this is a prevailing notion, is that China can collapse, their real estate can collapse, and their consumer will still survive. Again, just tie that in. We say the same stuff in America too. So it's a wicked concept, but then again, I would say it's guided, and that's the same logic as soft landing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like borderline. They're saying, well, yeah, and it's been about a year and a half too. You got to realize Evergrande and China's real estate. I've been telling you, I know people out there personally in China who have taken substantial losses on real estate. So it's like it's been going on for a while.
All right, what do we got?
Kind of like soft
JD's almost time to trim.
Crash, but we're still on it. So welcome. Would you be tempted to take 10%, 20 on the covered call if available? Not if my shares are down. You know what I'm saying? So otherwise, what I want to do is I want to drain the option premium, and then we cover and then do it over again. Oh shit, I didn't do the random play. It was a Baba play. All I'm saying is that the covered call is juiced on writing. That's it. It's just like AMC. It's just like any other time, like, somebody, like, just gotta think about it. Even if it, like, let's say the stock is bankrupt, I paid a certain amount for it, but it's like, for us to get back almost $1 a share, with the guarantee of, like, upside, for how much premium we got, it's ridiculous. So I think the premium makes it, I like the equity play on it by itself, but you link up the premium, then I'm just like, wow, it's cheap. Again, or the premiums are so high, it can help you make a cheaper play. Yeah, but the random play was a Baba 155 for 2024. Spy pop. I don't see how housing prices will come down again. Fed starts to cut, people will buy. It's just the economy. That's it. Like, you know, let's just be real. Everybody wanted real estate to crash when everybody was making money. That's it. And real estate did come down when everybody was making money. Like, you saw how fast. That's my only worry with real estate. Again, I love it. You know, I was hesitant a little bit. I still have to make certain purchases for other reasons, and I'm glad that I have what I have. But at the same time, it's like, you guys just witnessed it. If you don't remember what happened from like last August till pretty much like March or April, even June, like, dude, did you guys not see real estate dry up? And like it quickly went from, I'm gonna try to list my house 30% above value, to if you were just listed at the Redfin price, your house was sitting there for 60 days. Now, granted, there wasn't that much inventory, and you see where we got here, but like in the last 12 months, you've watched what happens to real estate when like the excited buyers drop out. If that makes sense. You've witnessed, at least I have. I don't know, if you haven't, then you may have not been as active in the industry, or maybe you weren't looking as much. But like I'm telling you, like even like if anybody is like, oh my god, I can't find a house, and like you're actively looking today, I'm like, where were you in April? Or where were you in March? Where were you in February? Because like, dude, people were scared in February. I'm telling you, again, even though the market was going up and all of that, like people were worried about real estate. You watch the fluff disappear really quickly. But now, again, just right when everybody feels the confidence that the economy is good, it kept going up. So I do think I think real estate will come back down simply when people lose money, like when people lose their jobs, and you actually have that. Otherwise, you know, it will. But then again, what I'm trying to say is that even in a rate cut, losing jobs and stuff like that will get in the way. It's my real estate exam, baby. Look at the Joy Core real estate team. So let's go, baby. Congratulations. It's a new era. You're starting a new career. Let's get it. You get the. It all ties into it. People on the sidelines, yeah. It's like, but there's a lot of people active, and I'm just saying. 9 months ago, we saw people go on the sidelines. I went on the sidelines for a little bit, but it was just like, dude, real estate was shady in the sense that it quickly reacted to that, but then before you knew it, everybody just got over the fear, and they're like, yeah, we're back. And that's it. Sacramento, I want to sell. Don't sell. That's just not. I'll tell you, bro. I've never. So far, there hasn't really been any properties where I sold and I was happy. I've sold a lot of houses in my life, and I usually like when I go and buy another one. That's why I don't get too mad. But I mean, if I were you, I would try to find a way to keep the house and then, you know, set up a strategy to take advantage of what you want. But like, you can even rent. And then rent out your place if you really wanted to, or even then run numbers and make sure it actually makes sense. Because that's the thing, it's just like, if you did sell it, where are you going to go in the next couple of years? And then, is the rent actually much cheaper? That's the next question. Ron DeSantis, well, let's play him. I've never really listened to Mr. DeSantis, so let's give him a run.
It was like 200, our Navy. Ronald Reagan in the 80s, he had it almost up to 600 ships.
God, he got good hair.
More in terms of a naval buildup, all with an eye to projecting power in the
It's done. I got the lag, dog.
I think you can deter China. I think time is running out to do it, but I think we can do it.
And I joked with him after that answer, guys, that sounds like defense budgets would not be cut. Obviously, there's two small parts of a 30-minute interview. We talked about all the issues that are critical to the CNBC audience. We talked about the economy, taxes, interest rates, economic policy. If you would renominate Jay Powell,
I don't think that's your audience,
ban
sir.
Congress from trading stocks. The full interview will air tonight.
Oh,
on last
hello.
call, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Rhonda.
Good hairline. Good hairline. Why is my perk Elon? I mean, that means that's good. That's 3 months, I think. You're so offended. Is what I'm showing the Bloomberg terminal? No, they banned me. I showed too much of a Bloomberg terminal. So they wanted to discriminate me in retail traders. So fortunately, no. But fortunately, yes, because then we've also learned a little bit about their algos too in the process. Arturo, he did it, baby. I'll start preparing for the 4-year NFT. Oh my gosh. 7 more months, dude? Oh my goodness. You're right. You're right. Are we still going up? I mean, this has been our first time going up in a minute without a sell-off, but let's see. I mean, the other time, again, this was what? Was this Powell or CPI, whatever the data we had? I think CPI. I don't know how it's going to play out here. But so far, most of the mornings, I mean, we would start off with a little bit, then sell off. So if this can hold, it looks nice. Other than that, though, we'll see. I like the wheat at this price. It just kind of is slowing down. We'll check the chart right now. Because, again, the Zelensky comments were tripping me out on Friday. So, yeah, it's lower, I think, just like the yen. Again, and I was telling you the yen on Friday, and you saw what happened. So it's just like any of these things at a breakout point, let's just be real. It's either they're gonna either hit a brick wall and bounce off of here, but anything from rates to commodities, if they flush through, it's gonna get a little nightmarish and flush before it pops, if that makes sense. 4481, 4483 is going to be the level. Tesla now, they're running up. Apple almost 1%. Again, I'm sure Amazon's already doing 1%. Amazon's up 1.3. Now Meta's on the high. Google, Netflix. Again, I think everything is in the green now. Now, yeah, even the Dow Jones, except for Russell. Mayhem. Welcome. GNS have been running all day. And then Microsoft's still running. Origin of 18. Ah, stiff, baby. Man, look at that headshot, too. At LeVar, you look professional as hell. That's it, man. I need to get me a new uncle headshot. Because that's it. They were asking for uncle's headshots. I was like, I don't do headshots. I can get you my uncle's headshot. That's the best I can do. Miners red. Let's see. Zoom out, it looks ready to flush. And if you just look at the 10-year, it looks ready to flush. If you look at the Chinese yuan, it looks ready to flush. If you look at any country globally, rates just breaking, it looks like we're ready to flush. However, just like the beginning of last year, none of that is materializing, or maybe it's just lagging. Oh, 40 months, baby! Zach Soldado, Mr. Soldado, Miami! UAV online, 40 months, baby. Cover me, I'm almost at 48 months. It's almost 2024. Get him again next time. Let's go, baby. Wake up. Good morning. Soldado, bring in the hype, baby. God bless you. You looking good, man? Has it almost been a year in Miami? Whoa! Cover me, I'm investing in the long term. Long term inbound. Long term deposit inbound. The yuan's looking, a lot of things look bad. Again, I guess I've been conditioned to not freak out, or like we said, don't panic just yet, and I'm kind of waiting for something to move, but like I'm telling you, I mean, you want to find something that tells you bad, you'll find, it's very easy to find right now. That's all I'm saying, is that it's very, very easy to find, but it's not necessarily showing you that the glass is about to break. But there's definitely cracks, but you know, it's all moving very slow. All is well. God is so good. That was actually bad. And then 4483. This is now the level. So lately, I feel like we've gone through like three. We go through like 3 levels. 1, 2, 3. You get a little bit above the 3rd one, and then you die. If that's gonna happen, see 1, 2, 3, and then we die. 1, 2, 3, and then we die. And so 1, 2, 3, and then we die. So let's see if that happens. Otherwise, you're hitting 4490, and then we're gonna be at 4500 by tomorrow. Again, I think that will be very nice for the calming sentiment in the market.
Yeah.
Split property in this market. If you get it at the right price, that's it. Just the idea is you cannot expect that you're going to sell them as much. So how the people got screwed in the last year when flipping slowed down, it's because everybody thought they're like, oh, I'm going to get $1.5 million for this property when they were just going for 1.2. That didn't happen. So if you're buying this house at $1 million, you're going to put in 200 grand thinking you're flipping it at 1.5, but you're only going to get 1.2. That's where you're going to run into the problem. So make your money off the buy, and as long as you don't pay too much and then assume that you're going to sell it for too much, then you're good. The problem now with flipping, it's not even a problem. You just have to be better at it than not. You have to know what the house is going to sell for. That's what you got to really, really look for, is that does it, you know, how much am I going to get when I sell? If you're wrong on that amount, you're going to get screwed. Getting one at 80, putting in at 35, and ARV is 60. So just do the math. If it make sure 160 is conservative. If it's not, you're fucked. That's all I'm saying. Because you see what you're like, okay, I'm gonna put in $110,000, thinking you're gonna get 160. My question for you: does the deal still work at 140, or does it still work at 130? And then see if there's any comps there. But then if 160 is like the real good comp, then you're good to go. then that's it. So just make sure what you think you're selling it for, just don't be wrong about that. You made most of the money in real estate, the fastest in stocks. Initially, yes, but then again, like, you know, it's crazy that because I would say that a lot, but then like 5, 6, 7 more years of holding stocks, my stocks have been able to, you know, balloon as well. So it's still borderline the same, but I would say that you make bigger money in real estate and faster money in stocks. It would make sense at 130. I just wouldn't make as much. Then you're good. Like that's what it comes down to. Like that, I would just say, okay, is this deal at 130? If that all works for you and you still make a profit, it's still worth it. Then there you go. Because then, yeah, what I do is I go with the most conservative number. Anything else, I just get surprised with. So that's it. It's like I aim conservative, and then if my conservative is wrong, that just means I make more money versus going with the less conservative and then walking away with less money if I'm wrong. Call the restaurant when I wake up with diarrhea? No. I poop too much, dog. I can't be holding them accountable for my bowels. It's not right. You know, you gotta move different. Go take a probiotic. Drink some water. Big sell-off again. Well, we worked our way up here. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not even that disappointed now. Like I said, who knows? Do we do 3 levels and sell off? That's kind of been the theme. I mean, this has been like 2 levels. I don't know if this one counts. So maybe we got like 1 more left in us. But so far, hitting 44.83, coming back down, and it's still just in this weirdly lower level of the last couple weeks. How low would YCL have to go before it would make this peak? I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it. One, if you're waiting for me to admit defeat, you should just call defeat right now. That's the first way I look at it. Because, I mean, again, if this dies from here, it's going to be painful. But to a degree, I plan on holding it for a long time. It may turn into a UNG. It might be victory or death. Yeah. That's how I look. And again, I don't think the yen will stay that low eventually, but in the meantime, you got to pay for it. But that one's not as bad as the 2 years. Ironically enough, but it's starting to build. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm saying, it's like you could call defeat right now if you really wanted to. Again, we had a nice gain earlier, then it comes down. But like I was saying, I decided to do 1 average here on the YCL. But where it goes from here gets insane. So it's like if you're not, I said the same thing on the bonds months ago too. The first time the bonds ever had the first, I said the same exact thing. But this year, anytime I felt like this and I got blown out, it's always been in my best interest to hold, and I didn't in some of those instances. So in this case, this time around, I think it's victory or death. But as of now, I'm taking the L. I think you have 20% more downside. Because again, I said it this morning, the yen is not where the bonds are. The bonds are already touching October lows and breaking out. The yen is like 10% from there. I mean, percentage-wise, or I think a little less than that. Probably like another 4% technically on the currency. New York Fed July survey finds retreating inflation expectations across a number of categories. New York Fed survey says consumers in July put 1 year ahead inflation at 3.5, lowest since April 21, versus June's 3.8. New York Fed's 3-year inflation at 3% versus June's 2.9. July 5-year at 3 versus June's 2.9. July's expected home prices moved to 2.8 from June's 2.9. July expected rent increase, lowest since January 21. And New York Fed survey respondents report better personal financial situations in July. 20% down for the yen. I'd say it's literal amount. It would be 4% lower on a future, which could still be quite big. But all I'm saying is that just like we were talking about with the yen, it keeps going lower. Most people were saying they were going to intervene at this moment, but ever since the whole YCC stuff, they haven't intervened, and now it's hitting 145 again. It's doing what the 10-year is doing. Like we're saying, you're hitting that level, but now are you going to break past in November? So what you're asking me, maybe this chart will look a little better, but people are saying, how much downside is there on the yen if it keeps breaking out from here? And like I'm saying, just look at the bonds. We were right here. This was that October high. We're matched up. Remember, the yen and the 10-year have a very strong correlation. So whoop. Now you take a look over here. They're not back up there. So realistically, the yen overnight might just go do the same exact movement it's done if it's going to catch back up here. But then anytime we've got up here, the government started intervening. This time they've been silent for 9 months here, especially after a big event. Teledoc, a lot of people have been asking about the options, and I said if you don't have the play, then you could consider grabbing it if you still like it. But if you already have the play and made it free, I would just ride your free shares. I mean, there's no point until we get that momentum. The idea with the Teledoc, remember, that play was like a month ago. Things just kept ripping. The earnings, we had a good play, a lot of time, we made it free. We were just saying, if the market does get stupid, that will be our hedge to the upside in the back end. But other than that, you gotta let things get jumpy. Otherwise, if it's not jumpy, then you gotta decide if you really want to enter it without any of that. So yeah, there's momentum. If there's no momentum, then there you go. If not, if there's no momentum, I don't know if I'm really in it, but our play's already free. The real question is, do you take the free value or do you keep letting it ride? USD going to 175. Well, that's the thing. There's a lot of big implications. So, we may think the yen could weaken like crazy, but at this point, some of those numbers start to imply a lot of other things for a lot of other places around the world. Thoughts on the exit for stocks? I thought you wanted to get into the stock sell long. Oh, I might have misinterpreted. I thought we were talking on getting into it. And I was just saying it's kind of like a catch-22 50-50 spot until NVIDIA. It's like they're cheaper than where they've been at, but they still hold a little bit of premium. Oh, so exit, I don't know. Like I said, that play, again, none of it was a recommendation. I was just giving you my thoughts, but I don't have an entry or exit for it. Like I said, I don't even know if I would have taken the entry. But so I don't know what I could say in terms of the exit. I'd probably, though, making it easy, I'd play the calendar around NVIDIA. Celsius, no, I don't. I think Celsius is up a lot. Would I want to short it? No, I want to buy it, man. Just Celsius, but I haven't bought it because it has too much premium. But I like their earnings. I like their earnings a lot. Yeah, Bob, but maybe if it goes really low, but like I told you, by Dune, that's the one that I want. Took a risk to 20 and target to 25. So yeah. So what's the question then? Just run it till 25 if that's the case. You got 5%. So you got most of it. The question is, do you think it'll last to the $25? That's the question. But I do think it will move around NVIDIA's earnings. JD, we already played JD, so that's the reason why we got JD, is that it lagged. I think we sold it out a little higher. So I agree with JD lagging for sure. I think Baidu is the best one. Still the student, but you determine the lesson, my brother. Oh, that's a good point for Celsius. He was like, I drank you drank 2 Celsius this morning? That's crazy, bro. Isn't that like 400 milligrams of caffeine? But yeah, that's a good point. Just remember, a couple years ago it was White Claws. No. So if you really think about it, like White Claw was just like, dude, everybody had a White Claw, and then now, dude, you guys drink 2 Celsiuses? No, that's crazy, bro. One of them is like intense. One of them is a pre-workout. Y'all drinking 2 of these? That's actually insane. 400 milligrams. It's my preferred. I like Celsius, but I don't know about 2 of them in the morning. I mean, I like my caffeine, but I told you I've been on like ever since I got sick that last time, I haven't had caffeine. Like, dude, I have 0 caffeine today. I haven't even drinking a sip of a coffee, carbo, or anything. It's about 400. Woo! You do 400 to 600 milligrams in your bloodstream every day. Yeah, I mean, if you can handle it, like, honestly, I could do a lot of caffeine when I would drink caffeine a lot. But, like, I've heard stories, like, some people just, they can't handle the caffeine the same way. Rejuvenate off bio. Nah, bro, I've been popping vitamins. That's it, vitamins. Mad B12. I told you the wellness formula. I told you this thing got something called it sounds really aggressive. Warhound. Yeah, I got vitamin D3. I got everything. I just been vitamins, dog. Still believing the yen play similar to the other ones is gonna happen. Just the timing is hard to predict. Yeah, and I thought I narrowed it down there on that week, and we had the game. We should have taken it, but even then, though, it's just like it's so far though. It's just like things are getting wide. That I could definitely. It's hard to ignore, but I do agree. It's going to be what, not when, and that's why I made mistakes with it in the past. Is looking at the when as opposed to the what. Any tips on sleep? The melatonin chocolates, I'm telling you. I don't like taking melatonin, but it's a very small amount. But I think anytime like my sleeping's weird, those come in clutch. That's it. All you got to do is get a couple good night's sleeps. You'll be good in no time. Chocolates, yeah, they got them. They even have them at like Trader Joe's. The who, what, where, why song for the first Spy Kids? No. I don't know if I was allowed to watch Spy Kids. How many milligrams? I try not to take any chocolate. So sometimes, like, if it's just getting like super late and I'm like jacked, like, and I'm not ready to go to bed, but like I'm like I have to wake up really early, I take these chocolates and it's like 1 milligram. That's it. But then like I have another thing of melatonin. Like I just have a bunch of vitamins in my house over the years, and I'm like, dude, these things are 5 milligrams. Like that's insane. So like, try to go a little bit lower. Do you feel okay in the morning? Yeah. 1 milligram, yeah. I wouldn't take more than that. And then if you take it more than like 3-4 nights in a row, you're gonna be fucking addicted. And then it'll just fuck with you. If you become like dependent on it, yeah, it'll mess you up. Your body just.
Well, we are ending the stream at down 8 basis points, and the S&P is up 30. The Dow is also down 8.